Hey, today's video is going to be about putting up bulletin boards with some tricks. I know a lot of us are getting ready to go back to school. Some of you guys have been allowed back in your classrooms to get it all set up. I am not there yet. I think we have another week to go before we're allowed in. And I know some of you are even back to school already, which is insane to me. Good luck to you if that's you. But today I'm going to show you some tricks to hang up your bulletin board pieces and make it a little bit easier for you. So let's get started. So I'm in Cricut Design Space. I typed in change your mindset because that's the one I'm going to be doing for my bulletin board today. For the change your, I used ink-free font, and for mindset I used Niagara engraved. You'll see that I have this colored, different colors because I'm going to be cutting this out of different papers instead of doing it one by one. I just separated the font up here in advanced and then did it by color by going up here by line type. If you want to see more of that in detail, then check out one of my previous videos. I show you how to do that step by step. Now, since this is a pretty large font, I'm going to be putting this across my bulletin board, and I need to make it longer than 11.5. So what I'm going to do, I've done it for mindset already. If you click on the letters, you'll see that it's not all one. I actually split these up into letters. So if you want to do this too and you have something that's longer than just your Cricut mat, then click on the font or click on the text box you want, go up to advanced, which is up here at the top, the last option, and then click ungroup to letters. And now if you click on it, there'll be all the separate letters. And then when you go to cut this, you can do a larger size without having to stay on one mat. So now I'm on the step right before I'm going to cut it on my Cricut. This is split up by color, so these will be on my white cardstock. This one's going to be on green, turquoise, dark turquoise, and so on. Here is the title that I'm going to be doing for my bulletin board, Change Your Mindset. It's all cut out and ready to go from the Cricut. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be laminating it because that is super important. Otherwise, my trick that I'm going to show you after this step is not going to work. So make sure you laminate whatever you cut out. Here's a tip if you are ever cutting lamination and you want to get on the inside and you don't really want to bend it to slice it, or you don't have an X-Acto knife, you can take a hole punch and then just make a little hole in the middle. And now you can get your scissors in there to cut the middle way more easier than bending it. So I have my quote laid out, change your mindset. It's not level yet, but I wanted to make the top line change yours kind of up and down because the font size, like the N and the G, they're all different sizes and it's meant to be like that. So I'm going to make sure that it's not too wide to go with mindset. So I'm just gonna eyeball this right now just to see how far I need to pull it in. And right now I'm just looking at the spacing, making sure it all looks good. Okay. All right, so I'm happy with the top one, change your. So now I'm gonna grab my painter's tape, and I just have blue clean release painter's tape. I do not use frog tape because frog tape is very sturdy and very sticky, so get the painter's tape, it's great. Then you're just gonna go across your whole line. Just do a quick measure, cut yourself a piece, and then lay it right over top in the middle, just like that. And then you're gently going to just tap where it touches the tape. All right, now if I would hold that up, then the whole thing would move and I wouldn't have to worry about it. Now I'm gonna do mindset, and I'm actually gonna grab a poster board. And I want this to be pretty much perfectly level. So I'm going to take a straight edge. It doesn't have to be a poster board. It can be anything really that has a straight edge. It could be a desk. It could be a yardstick, whatever. But I'm just going to set this right here so then I can make sure that all my letters are even and none of them is not going uphill. Spaced correctly. All right, that eye's moving. I'm gonna move that M over. All right, that looks good. Now that the end moved, there we go. Okay, I think that looks good. Now I'm gonna do the same thing that I did for Change Your. I'm gonna take a strip of my painter's tape, do a quick measure, and you can probably, since these letters are so large, I can do 2 strips if I want to, just to make it a little easier, but I'm just gonna try it with 1. We'll see if it works. And again, I'm gonna go right down the middle. Once I have it down the middle, just do a quick press so the letters don't move on you. All right, and then you're ready to transfer to your bulletin board. So here's my blank bulletin board, and I'm gonna start with the Change Your, and I'm just going to see where the middle is, make sure this is level, and then press. I don't need to press too hard because again, it's just to keep it up there until you can staple it. And I'll grab my mindset. And I'll put this one right under. All right, let's see here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Looks awesome. Okay, and then I can take my stapler and I can staple these right onto the board, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. So here is my end result of my quickly put together bulletin board. Now this is not actually at my school, so I'll have to take it all down, but it's pretty. I love the way it turned out. So the only thing that I would change about the bulletin board that I just made is that my letters are kind of glossy. They have that reflection from the lamination, but I've read that if you put 2 coats of a matte clear spray paint on it, that it takes that away. So I will have to do that for my real classroom when I transfer this to my real classroom. As always, if you have any questions or you just want to tell me how much you like it, then drop me a comment or a DM and I'll be happy to connect with you. Until next time, happy bulletin board making.